Hello, I'm Kerry from Mobilates, and I'm really glad that you're joining me for 30 minutes of gentle, mindful, Pilates inspired movement. And I'm looking out onto the comment box. Say hello if you're here. Let me know how you're finding it. I've got suggestions for you if you're standing, if you're sitting, and we'll also do some things lying down, but I've got other options for that. So if you can't get to lying down, either on a bed, and you can always sit on the edge of your bed to do this first part. But I've also got some standing up options for some of the lying down sections. So trying to come up with something for everybody. But we'll start nice and gentle. So if you're standing, it's just feet hip width apart, soft knees. If you're sitting, easy way to check your feet are hip width apart is to put your fists between your knees. That does the trick. That's the spacing, and then just sitting upright, you can come slightly away from your chair back. And then before we do anything else, just let your belly go a little bit. We're not going to hold it in for this first bit. We're just going to do a bit of breath work just to settle us. Hopefully you can hear some gentle music in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. It might help you establish a sort of soft rhythm. But yeah, let your belly be soft. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, and then as you feel you're taking that breath in, your tummy starts swelling out, the diaphragm's moving down to make room in your lungs for more air. And then out through your mouth, blowing it out. Is it Irene? Hello, Irene. We'll place our hands together then for this breath. So it's in a gentle prayer. If your hands are like that, that's fine. Soft arms, breathing in, moving up. And as you move out, breathing out. Breathing in, moving up. Breathing out, letting the arms circle round. Now this is more of a breathing, sort of steadying exercise, just to get you right in the present moment and leave behind everything else. It's not really an arm exercise. If your arms are doing really small movements, or one arm is moving, the other arm, maybe something going on with your shoulder, your wrist, that's fine. And if you're sitting, it's just the same. And to make this more mindful, you can close your eyes, or if you feel that closing your eyes, especially when you're standing, not for you, just look into the distance, let everything go a little hazy. So you can still see, but it's all like when you take your glasses off. It's me most of the time. Your breath slowing down. You don't have to follow me with my arms. You can take it at your own pace. And if you're enjoying reaching out wider, you can do that. Totally an option. Couple more. And then let your arms rest. If your eyes are closed, like mine, they can just stay there. Just feel a few tingles. And then slowly, slowly bringing your eyes back to the screen. And then we're going to start warming up the rest of our body. You're here in this moment now. That concentration has just brought you here. You can put your hand on your belly, hand on your back. This time, bringing your belly in, bringing those muscles, recruiting those muscles. A gentle sort of squeezing in of those muscles. And then that's going to help you do this little tilt movement. You can just see my t-shirt at the back. It just goes up and down. It's just a rocking motion with your pelvis. And if you're sitting, you really feel your sitting bones, the bottom bones of your pelvis where they come onto the chair. You feel yourself sort of rolling off and on them. Does not need to be a big movement. You're just seeing how your back is today, how that low spine is. That's it. And if you're feeling a lot of tightness in the lower back, often it feels nice to tuck your bottom under. If you're feeling like you're gripping here in your bottom and tucking under already, it can feel nice away. But try and embrace both. No tension is. Take it easy. And then pulling up tall. Feel that invisible thread at the back of your head, just pulling you up that little taller, just sitting you up a little taller. Then your shoulders, give them a little wriggle, take them back. Feel this part right along your collarbone even, not collarbone, collarbone, open out, broaden. That's it. Tuck your chin back and you'll feel your neck gets a little longer. You might feel you get a few extra chins. That's good. And then we're going to relax. So if I show you from the side, there's my head and chin going back. And then relaxing. And this is the time where those extra chins, we're not trying to hide them. If I could see you, I'd be really looking for the chins. It just shows me that you're getting nice length at the back of your neck. It's a small movement. Now keep that chin tucked in. And we're just going to rotate our ear, tilting that ear rather, towards our shoulder. But if you watch my shoulders, they're staying still. So I'm not trying to hitch up or move one way. I'm trying to keep those steady. Just take my ear down towards. If you've got a lot of flexibility in the neck, you might even want to sort of resist with your hands a little bit each side so that it doesn't go over too much. But for most people, this just feels like a good way to stretch. You might feel stiff along here or along one side rather than the other. Then bring your chin down and back again. Little rotation and really work on keeping those shoulders just down and steady. Again, if you're tight, like if I was tight here, this shoulder would just start to pull up a little bit. And we're trying to keep it like a spirit level across here. Nice and steady. So you're working, keeping this still and just gently letting your head rotate. And then you can dip your chin down a little, like you're squeezing a satsuma under here. Very gently, just to hold on to it. And then roll one way. Back to that invisible satsuma. Rolling the other. We're just trying to avoid dropping our head down. Trying to keep that length in the neck. That's it. Just easing into it. Back to the center, rolling up. Start one shoulder, then the other, circling. And I'm really using my shoulders, not the elbows. Arms are just hanging there. So we're trying to avoid that sort of thing. Just trying to get the shoulders working. I can feel when I'm doing it, my hands just sort of brushing past my legs. That's it. And then see what it's like together. Breathing in as they come up, out as they come down. Oh, it even feels nice to shut your eyes there sometimes as well. And then we're going to shrug our shoulders up with another in-breath. And very slowly melting them down, blowing out. Breathing in, take them up. They don't have to go really high. Maybe you can go higher, maybe you just don't want to. Maybe just hold it there. And then breathing out, slowly melting down. One more, breathing in, take them up. And then as you're melting them down, just squeezing slightly back. And hopefully you got that sensation of the shoulder blades here, just moving slightly down your back, just giving your spine that little hug, almost comes into a V. Right, this time we're going to move our arm, just one side. It's coming up and out. Now I don't mind how far up your arm comes. Mine's not going completely vertical. Keeping it nice and soft and fluid. That's it. But what is nice is stretching that arm out a little at this point. See, my hand is just reaching back a little. Just find that it gets a good stretch along there. If it's too strong, straighten the arm out. Wiggling the fingers is nice. Like you're playing this piano in the air. Or just combing the air. Now on our next one, we're just going to let our knees soften a little and just put a little turn in with the body. If you're sitting, looks the same. just letting the body turn. You might find that one knee just comes forwards a little bit. I can feel this one just coming forwards, that's fine. Keep wiggling those fingers. And then take your hand, could be here, could be out here, could be here. Just a little side bend over. So having it like this is probably the strongest of the three. Taking it down here, that's a little less. Taking it here, it's a little less. And it's the opposite side that we're going down to. And we're trying to work these muscles here, pulling us back up. So as I go over to this side, I can feel this stretch out, and then this has to tighten up to bring me back up again. One more. Right, other side, bit of a wriggle to reset. I'm going to start this one on the chair. Arm up and out to the side. That's it. Wiggling those fingers. And on the next one, and we're going to put that little turn in. So I'm going to think this knee is going to start to come forward. And I'm going to let my head just follow my hand. That's it. Next we're going to put that side bend in. So going down to this side, take my arm just here and let this other arm just dangle down. And you could take it higher here, you could take it by your head. And this time this side is pulling me back up. A couple more. And then we kind of come up, back up to standing. We're just going to raise our heel. And the other side, exactly the same if you're sitting. And the arms are just swapping over as I'm doing it. And what you're looking for here is you can keep your ankles under control. If they're wibbling and wobbling, don't come up so high, just keep it smaller. If that feels okay, maybe there's a few knee clicks, they could be okay, unless they hurt. It's just what the body does. Just swapping like this. I'm trying to get my opposite arm to leg. Coordination, eh? That's it. And then we can put in a little balance work with this. So we can start to come up, both heels together, and bring your arms up, slightly forward, a bit like you're making a sort of flower shape. Think tulip. That's it. So that's the standing version. And as I go up, I'm really pulling into my belly just to keep me nice and strong. If I'm sitting, it's just sitting near about half of my legs on the chair there. Those legs coming up together, just like I did standing. And then the arms coming up too. So as the legs go up, and I'm going either onto the balls of your feet, you could be going right up onto the ends of your toes. Depends on your foot flexibility and sort of comfort. That's it. But I can feel my belly muscles are getting a bit of a workout. That's it. Last one of these. And then just start to take your arms back. A little bit of rotation. Letting your body go with it. So letting those legs be soft, whether you're sitting or standing. If your knees are moving a little bit, that's okay. And then bring your arms forwards. And we're just going to take an elbow back and swap over to the other side. Just letting it swap over and letting the body just twist and move with this one. And then if you want to control it a little more, hold this still, keep this exactly where it is, and just take one arm back at a time. The transition is slower. You have to really concentrate to keep that pelvis forwards at the front, and if you're sitting, just your knees level. That's it. And then we're just going to do a little bit for the legs and hips next. The arms just have a flop down first. So if you're standing, just take your weight onto one leg and the other foot here is just on the ball of my foot. You could use your chair for a bit of balance here. My legs are still about hip width apart. I'm just going to do that little turn there. If I lift my top up a little, you can see my legs coming out, but my pelvis stays forwards. If I show you sitting, just coming to the inside of this bit of leg and the inside of my foot there. That's it. And then you can even hold it. So you can use your chair if you need to balance. My toes just on the floor. You could take it further up your leg. I've gone below the knee. Don't go on the knee. You don't want to press your knee out. You can go higher. And take your arms out. And give your wrists a little bit of rotation. That's it. And although it looks nice and calm, there's a lot of work going into this one. Squeezing your glutes, holding your belly in, that will help you keep steady. But you can always have your arm on something here to balance. It almost looks like I'm using the table there. And then take that down. Particularly nose today. Soft legs, and just take it to the other side. Just get that pivot going. So remember, if you're sitting, just that turn out. Still got the ball of my foot down there. Just letting that leg pivot out. I can really feel it going into the side of those muscles. And then if you're holding it when you're sitting, it helps to extend this leg and just rest your foot either on the top or at the side. Arms come out again. And rotate those wrists. That's it. Sitting up nice and tall. You can squeeze into your glutes if you're sitting. That's it. You can see yourself come up a little taller. And then take it down. Your legs have a little rest. And we're going to go into some roll downs. So if you're sitting, take your legs wider. Come a little forward on your chair. Hands are on here because they can help you. We're going to hinge forward. That means we're going from the straight back and the hips rather than rounding. Now my hands here are helping support. I could take them away and I'm holding with my belly muscles, but if I wasn't strong enough here, my hands can help me. From this point, I'm going to start tucking my bottom under. So I'm going to swap to the side view. There. You see, as I tuck my bottom under, my back starts to round. Let that ripple up and also press into your hands a little. Heads down, and then using my hands, arms and my belly muscles to come up. Standing, take your legs nice and wide. I'm as wide as my mat here. Send your bottom back like you're sitting down on a high stool. Straight back, not like that, straight. There. Again, resting the hands on the thighs. Tuck under here. And let that curve spread up the back till your head's rolling over. And then use your hands and push your legs upwards. We're going to do one more. That's it. Tuck under, let it ripple all the way up. Beautiful. We're going to go down to the floor, your bed, your sofa. So I'm just going to push my chair that way. Adjust my camera and take you down to the floor. There we go. I have to move all my bits and pieces down. Microphone down. My little planner. And we're going to be lying down. So get yourself comfy. I always say for this class, always have a few cushions. I always have my little stack there. So you might want a cushion underneath your head. You want your head and neck to be comfortable. And comfortable means that your gaze is upright. So you don't really want to be squished like that because that would be pushing your head forward. And you don't want to be looking back behind you. If you're looking that way, it can easily spread tension to your back and you can feel real achy bits in your back. So cushion or a towel, a hand towel that you can just fold up, just get the right sort of height under your head. And then when you're down on the floor, always good to have a little wriggle, or on your bed, have a little wriggle. That's it. And I've got my arms out, a bit more support, my palms are up, legs are bent. And then I'm going to ask you to put your feet together and your knees together. Then take your heels out to the side, toes forward. I'm going to bring in my arms a little, still palms up. And then I'm going to slide this leg away and slide it back. And then I'm just going to open it out to the side. We did this one last week, do you remember? And then other side, sliding away, bringing it back, dropping it out, this leg completely still. So to do all those moves, the body might be moving here, but this bit here is holding everything in place. So here, I'm trying to keep this steady, still, like it's got a tray on it. And nothing's moving. That's it, all your power's going on here. And your legs are just enjoying the movement. And you're also trying to keep the tension out of the jaw, the shoulders and the collarbone. Can't remember if I dropped my leg out there. Let's pop that in just in case. Sliding away, bringing it back. Now, if you want more challenge, when you slide away, don't touch the floor. So we're now floating. Bring it back. Still floating. Take it out to the side a little. Bring it back. Oh, that was harder. Take it down. It's an option. You can stick with how we were doing before, but just in case you want a little bit more challenge, and it might be that bit's the bit you want to float on, and then you want to put your foot down to drop out. That's good. That's fine. But it just adds a little bit more. You have to work harder here. Keeping everything nice and steady. One more. Trying the little floaty one, that's it. And then take your feet together, let your legs just flop out. Take your arms out. Have a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to do something with the arms. I'm just going to come a little bit further down so you can see my arm position a little better. And I'm going to take the cushion out just so you can get a better view. So I want you to take your arms in that T shape and then pull your elbows in. Now you might find, I've got my arms on the floor, you might find you're floating a bit because you can't get that angle with your arms. So you might have to adjust, and that's perfectly normal. So you might be doing that rather than open out here. I find it at that point, it doesn't like being out on the floor that much. So I'm going to float mine a little there. That's it. And we're just going to that T and then pulling downwards, almost like we're trying to make a W shape. And it's the palms and the forearm here that are probably going to want to start to come away from the floor. And then you can take it a little higher if that's okay for your shoulders. So now I'm in almost like a Y shape at the top. And then I can pull downwards. Not going to pull down so far. And I'm finding with this, my arms will stay on the floor. But you might find you're like this and you're pulling down like that. Or you've even got your arms at sort of different angles from each other because of things going on with shoulders. That's okay. We have to do what our bodies do. And then stretch long on the legs. Big breath in. And as you breathe out, just a little flop. And then we're going to roll onto our front. Now, if you don't like being on your front, just come up to standing or sitting, okay? Because not everybody likes going on their front. If you're standing or sitting, I want you to stand or sit with your hand on your belly and feel the breath going in your belly. If you're going on your front, you can use your hands as a pillow. Feel your belly pressing into the mat. Relax your legs. Heels will fall out to the side when you really relax your bottom. And just have a breath in so you can feel it pressing into the bed or your mat. And try another breath in, feeling into the bed or the mat. And that's just that soft, relaxed breath. Right, now I'm going to change the legs a little bit. Can you see I've just changed my feet? From falling out like that, I'm bringing them all in one long line with my body. But but my legs are apart. They're about hip width apart. I'm going to rest my head on my hands, but you could use a pillow here, a little cushion like that. You could use that and put your hands at the sides like that, especially if you want to avoid squishing your nose. And then I'm almost going to tuck my bottom under a little bit, as if my bottom's going a little bit towards my heels. And I'm just trying to pull my belly muscles up and away from the mat. My belly stays on the mat, but the muscles underneath, just pulling up a little. And then I'm going to lengthen that leg. So you can see my foot and my shins coming off this floor. If I give it a little wave there, but it's not my whole leg. It's not all of my thigh. And then the other side. Now I'm looking at you, but if you have your head down like that and your neck straight, no strain. And it's like someone's pulling your leg away rather than it's coming like way up in the air. Don't want that. Just want this long leg. And at the same time, I'm just keeping my bottom almost like it's going down towards my heels a little bit, rather than doing that and sticking up in the air and arching my back, because that's a bit uncomfortable. What you can do is stick a cushion right under there. That's quite nice. I often do that. It's just a lot gentler. And those legs just keep on lifting up. I'm just keeping an eye so you can see me, but you'd have your head like that. So imagine that I'm there and I'm just pulling along, pulling your ankle, lengthening your leg. This is a really good back strengthener. Now, if you don't like it on the mat, you could take it to a chair. Just watch my legs here, just going backwards a little. So I'm just leaning slightly on the chair, and that's the standing version if you don't like being on your belly. Now, if you've been on your belly for a while, you'll want a bit of a rest. So now let your legs go a little wider and those heels flop out, and let your bottom have a big wobble to the side. Wobble each way. And that just loosens everything off. And then bring those legs back to long. So the feet are long like the legs, but they're still apart. I'm going to put my head back on the pillow. I'm going to roll my shoulders down because they tend to creep up when we're in this position really easily. Now this time I'm going to bend my leg. So I'm slowly just bringing my foot towards the bottom. You might want to take it a little bit more and then away. And I'm just keeping that foot a little bit flat. That's it. Now, if you've got any knee issues, it might be that you're just going to do it like that. That's fine. But do it in a squeezing sort of way. And you might find that you've actually got quite a lot of flexibility there. Whew, it's almost like you're going to kick yourself in the bottom. And if you're doing this standing, again, using a chair, could be leaning on a desk as well. Just squeezing up and trying to keep my knees in line with each other. So that's the standing version if you don't like being on your front. And we'll just do a couple more of those. And then again, let those legs rock from side to side. Let your bottom rock. If you're standing, you could have a little sway. And then I'm going to roll onto our side to sit up. So if you are standing, you could sit back on the bed, back on your chair. I'm going to sit back on my mat. I might even sit on this cushion whilst it's here. And take your legs long if you're sitting on the floor. And if you're sitting on the chair, you can just have your legs next to each other, legs bent. I'm going to bend one leg. If you've got a hip replacement, stay like this. If you're in the chair, just have your legs bent. And the option is to cross your legs in the chair. Unless you've had a hip replacement, you won't want to cross your legs, go over that midline. So if you haven't had a hip replacement and you're all good in the hips, you can cross the leg. It's like this, and the same if you're sitting. And then this knee, that's going to be our little lever for twisting. So I'm going to have a hand behind, or you could have a hand on your chair. Look forward. You can pull this foot back as an extra. Breathe in. Sit up really tall. And as you breathe out, use this knee to help you rotate round. And just hold it there. Taking another breath in and out. And then on your next breath in, get ready to unravel as you breathe out. Take those legs down. I'll show you the seated version higher up. So I went that way last time. This way, if you're crossing your legs like that. Otherwise, you can just use your legs this way. So crossing and, twisting the other way, got confused then. Using this knee as resistance, pushing behind, sitting up tall with that breath in, and then rotating round. So you should be getting a different view this time. That's definitely the clue to whether you've rotated round the right way or not. If you're looking at the same direction, the same view, you've gone the same way twice. And next time you breathe in, get ready to unravel. I'm going to come back down to the floor. That was a nice little twist, that one. Now you can sit comfortably, so that might be like this, or with your legs out. That's it. We're just going to have a little rock from side to side. Really soft arms again. And you can use your hand to push yourself away. And then we'll hold it. Have a little look up towards the sky. I'm lucky I can see a bit of sunshine coming in. And then push over to the other side. Have that little look up towards the sky. And then come down. We're going to take our arms up with a breath in. And as we breathe out, push away. Up with a breath in. And push away. Last one, up with a breath in. Bring your hands straight to your chest. Breathe out. Well done. That time goes so quickly. Don't forget, I'll check the comments. So if you want to say anything, if you want to let me know how you found it, really nice to see you. I'll see you again next week. Thanks very much.